Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm so sad because I had some technical difficulties and for some reason my video didn't record even though it said it was recording. So you missed like this whole part right here. This headdress was already done and the background was, but I was working on this guy right here with my Inktense, but I can't tell you what colors that I used. And then we can work on some other stuff on here. But for him, I used the mustard, so 1710, the leaf green, 1600, and then for the chefs, the mid-tones, I went in with dark chocolate, number 2000. No. Oh, I must have used bark. I think I used bark or dark chocolate. I used dark chocolate, 1930. And then I did something unexpected. And I did the deepest shadows with this mauve purple right here. And talked a little bit about how using a deeper color that's not black can actually create a lot of nice depth. Like you can get some dark shadows with black, but it's a lot better to use a darker color if you're trying to get a more realistic, lifelike kind of effect. So I'm sorry you missed all of that. So this won't be as long because that was like an hour long that I was doing that and I just feel so sad. So I wanted to do something. So I might, I will just like work on these flowers in here and then need to go because we have some busy plans for the weekend and I need to get prepped for that. So I think I'm gonna do these flowers like kind of a purpley white. So I'll take dusky purple and actually I might do red violet, which is 610. This one is cotton pink, crimson, red, violet. My son got into these and they got a little mixed up. Okay, so I'm gonna use red violet for the shadows in these flowers. And I'll pull it out. And this is Inktense, by the way, I forgot to say that. All of this is Inktense except for these dark shadows on the leaves. That's Polychromos pencil. Because this is kind of a exploring with Inktense page. So I'm just gonna super lightly go over, since I want these to be pretty light. And hopefully this works. So in the chat, coloring and chatting that I thought I was filming, I was talking about a project that I'm working on and I want ideas on your favorite like villains from like Disney movies or fairy tales, more like fantasy villains. So it can be, you know, from a fairy tale or a mythical villain, or like a Disney villain that can be portrayed in human form. I've come up with 15 so far, but you know, I just have this nagging feeling that I'm forgetting something, so I'm hoping that putting heads together and finding out what people's favorite villains are would help me to know if I'm forgetting any. Because, I mean, there's some stories that I'm, like, intentionally not doing the villain, like Mulan. Even though I love Mulan's story, what's his name? The villain on that, the bad guy. Because I'm doing, like, female villains, and some I'm drawing and, like, gender swapping them, but I don't know how to draw, like, a Mong warrior female. Not Mong, yeah, he's Mongolian, right? Man, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Okay, so these are a little bit more purple than I thought, but I might be able to go back and add some white on top once it dries. I should have gone for, like, I should have just done this part in pencils. Or done less pigment. But that's okay. It's a learning process. And it's still pretty. Just is not as poppin'. Because I wanted that contrast of a super light flower. Okay. Now, do I want to do these stems like green or brown? How about both? Let's mix brown with green. See, those are my blues. So I'm gonna pick like 1510 beach green and add that in there. It's like a nice foresty but not super dark green. And then I'll add some brown on top. There's a little squirrel with the crown. Okay, so these little guys I'm gonna make like super neon green / yellow, like chartreuse. Fun fact, pedestrian crossing signs are not yellow, they are chartreuse, which is green. It's like a super yellow green. I learned that. Yeah. I don't know why, but my driver's ed teacher thought that was like the craziest thing. So it's just like ingrained in my memory. Okay, I'm gonna go for willow, which is right here. It's like nice, kind of almost like a raw sienna, but not as red. Alright. And I'm mostly adding brown down at the bottom of the stem because I want it to get greener the higher up I go. So I will probably start at the top, work my way down. Okay, so that's really fast. This medium is so fast to work with because you don't have to use a ton of water and it dries pretty quickly. And it doesn't, like, this paper buckled quite a bit, but it's because I did the background first and used a lot of water. But it doesn't require too much water, which is so nice. Okay. Yeah, this is super quick because you don't like have to do so much burnishing because the water smooths everything and blends everything for you. It's amazing. Yeah, see, that took like 10 seconds. Okay, more like a couple minutes when it would have taken 5 minutes. Alright, now I want to get these colored. I'm gonna choose amber. Amber is next to mustard. Here's amber. It's like a yellowy, grainy color. And then I'll add like a bit of orange, because these are the stamen of the flower. Which, it's a good thing I realized that, because at first I thought they were... Oh dear, what is that plant? They were... Oh, you know which one I'm talking about? The ones that look like they're hot dogs. Dogwood. Isn't that what they're called? I think so. So these are the stamens, so I'm glad I realized that, so I can make them look like stamen and not like dogwood. Wait, is it dogwood? Isn't that a tree? Oh dear. I'm so bad with plants. Okay. So now I'm gonna add like cadmium orange. Cadmium orange. Oh man, I'm tired. Well, last night I was drawing. I was working on something. And usually when I get working on a project, I can't sleep until I'm like at a good finishing point for it. Which last night I was like so close to finishing drawing out what I was working on. And I'll give you a little sneak peek to it. But yeah, I was so close to like finishing drawing it out, and then I was like, well, I might as well just draw it. But let's see if I can show a sneak peek. It has to do with this. I want this to be kind of a surprise because it's like something that's unique, and I don't know how long it's going to take me. I know there are a lot of other people who will jump on the idea, so I want to be like the first. I want to set the trend, you know? Even though I probably won't end up setting any kind of trend, but it's good to dream, right? Okay, so I'm gonna make these guys. I'm gonna color them with cadmium yellow. I don't know why, I just think these guys will be so cute, like neon. And then I'm gonna add some apple green. They're just gonna be bright. I don't know why, but I just imagine them to be like these bright, happy little sprite things. S-P-R-I-T-E. I think, right? Sprite. Not the drink Sprite, though it is lemon and lime colors. Whoa. Sprite is actually the tears of these neon sprites. Okay, so put the pencil back and yes. Okay, so I got a little out of the lines, but background is such that I can't really tell too much. Ooh, those are fun. This is a very... See, I imagined him glowing, which I think I achieved pretty well, but I imagined this one differently, and I feel like that's been happening a lot lately, where my finished results are looking a lot different than what I originally envisioned they would be. But it's good different. It's like, still looks really good. I feel like lately I've been getting a lot better at the color choices that I make. Apple green. That's spring green. Here's apple green. And I want to try to incorporate some of the brighter colors of Inktense because they don't get as much love. So this page is perfect for that. Yeah. So I'm gonna add some shading on this guy's wings. This guy. Oh. And then we'll activate that with water. And I'm gonna make his head a little greenish. So in the last video that I thought was recording when it wasn't really, like, for some reason it was storing on my phone and not the SD card in my phone, because my phone has better resolution than my camera does, I think. Anyways, even though my settings were set to save to the SD card, it saved to my phone, and so I was just like chatting away and then finished the video and sat up and like clicked stop, and then it said there was an error, so something happened. Okay. Fun. Well, maybe I'll color one toadstool and then we'll call it good, because I forgot to get water. I'm really thirsty. So I'm gonna do, usually I want to do this little guy. So on this, I'm going to use my reds. I'm gonna start and add some Silken Yellow. Oh, not silicon, Sicilian Yellow for more of the highlight. Okay. And I love that you like don't have to color perfectly because it just like spreads out and blends. Okay, so now my next shade that I want to do is Mild Vermilion, which is 310. So this is like an orangey. This is why you need to swatch, because that does not match. Alright, so we're gonna make the shading kind of go from the bottom up on this, because it is more of a natural lighting, so there's not really too much of a clearly defined shadow. That goes on really well. It goes down like butter when your paper is just like slightly damp, but you have to be careful with that because it is an acrylic. So once it gets wet and it dries, it's gonna stay like that. So you don't want your paper to be too damp. Otherwise, if you don't color it perfect, then it's not gonna spread out perfectly. Ooh, I like that. Okay, pull that up there. Awesome. So awesome. Sorry, the lighting is really bad again today. It's really cloudy. Okay, so while his hat dries, I'm gonna work on his body. And I got these. I'm gonna use tan and then add some saddle brown. My favorite color is light tan and subtle brown. Where is subtle brown? Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's tan. There's a hand. That must be one of the search and find things. So, sorry for the spoiler on that. Alright. Oh, white. So whenever we go anywhere anymore, my son will say, "Oh, white. Okay." Cause like, he picked that up, cause whenever like, I would go to get him out of his car seat after we get where we are, it's like, "All right, let's get you out of here." And so now he always says, "All right." It's so cute. No, 2 is such a fun age. Now, there are the terrible 2s that come with that age, but all the other cuteness almost like makes it worth it. Okay, it does. He's just been so much, especially cute. But his cuteness has, so I would say his cuteness has gotten so much cuter, but also his tantrums and like orneriness from when he doesn't take a nap also has gotten more extreme. So he's gone to the extremes on both sides. Okay. So, is that in? Okay, so I think it's a cap. Let's try enough that I can add. I want to do chili red, which is number 500. Poppy. Because I want a deep red. Yep. And then I might add some purpley red at the very end, since purple has been the shadow theme. And I'm gonna go like that. I just am like trying to see how much shading and like all that jazz I can get with just using Inktense. Because once you add water to the paper, it doesn't take pencils as well. So I'm just trying to see how much I can layer with Inktense, and so far it's been layering really. Okay, I'm gonna do willow, shade of willow, or madder brown, dark chocolate. I'm gonna use dark chocolate for this guy. It's like underneath the mushroom. He's got like this mustache right there. Alrighty here. Okay. So then we'll take this water on this particular brush. Now you can use a water brush. I just don't know where mine is. And mine is really old anyway, so the ends are kind of splaying a little bit. I just feel like I can find stuff when I don't need it, and then when I need it, it disappears. Okay, so I'm gonna add a deeper red. Or no. I'm actually gonna do madder brown, just like a reddish brown. It's kind of like a red purple brown. For this shadow, like right in here. Okay. And then we'll spread this out. I try to be less liberal with the shadows just because the Inktense is intense. Oh, I got outside the line. I'll just like go back over that with a white pencil. Actually, let's see. It'll go on now. Oh, okay, see, there we go. Ha! I mean, it's got a bit of a tint to it, but that's okay. That's okay. And I'm gonna add some white on these flowers. Yeah, I'm liking how this is going. I'm gonna stop here because wait. Oh, okay. Because I've got to go take care of some things, but I wanted to sit down and just like play with these on camera with you guys, and I'm so sad that you missed this footage because it was really cool to see what difference it made adding the purple and the shadows versus before, because I talked about how sometimes you just have to add one more deeper color to make a huge difference. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you were able to find something helpful from it. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Happy coloring!